anybody else have this thought? So there was a press conference over the week, the one with Nate Diaz, and the one where they announced the Conor and Khabib fight. Did you guys notice that Madison Square Garden did not have a main event? And Dana said that. He goes, look, Nate is going to fight Dustin. All right, Poirier and Diaz. That's the co-main event, but then he never said what the main event was. So, of course, instantly John Morgan, a member of the media, challenges him on it and goes, hey, I noticed you didn't have a main event there. What's it going to be? And Dana said, yeah, we're working on something. Of course, it's going to be something special. It's MSG. We're going to do something, but most I can say right now. Any level of speculation would have to lead you to Jon Jones. That could be inaccurate speculation, but any level of speculation has seemed to drive everybody to that same conclusion of Jon Jones. Now, that's wishful thinking for me, and I'm coming to you as somebody that understands the disciplinary process on a different level than most people, having been through it. I cannot understand any of those rules any clearer than Jon Jones is out of an earliest until next summer. And possibly a worst-case scenario of 4 years, which I do not believe at all. I'm just saying my understanding of the rules, that is on the table. He's got a ceiling of 4 years, but he's got a floor of 2. There's not a lot of room for interpretation or misinterpretation or argument within that. That's what it is. But there seems to be an optimism from people also in the know that Jon is going to be back sooner than that. And it would lead you to believe, possibly, that that's the card that they're looking at. So then the question is, so let's just set that aside. Let's just imagine it's going to be Jon Jones. Well, Jon Jones versus who? You know, contrary to what the media loves to tell you, Jon Jones is not a huge star in the sport. Jon Jones is an amazing talent. What I'm saying is a star in terms of his numbers and his ability to draw. He does his best nights of business with Daniel Cormier. He does fine business all the time. I'm not knocking on Jon. I'm just saying, if he is to be the main event over Diaz and Poirier, he must have a matchup that you go, even more than you go, for Diaz and Poirier. If they got more of a, then they would be the main event. That's the way this works. So, it's not just Jon versus anybody. It's not. We know Gustafsson's off the table. I don't think Corey Anderson is the guy. We know Anthony Smith is busy. Glover Teixeira and he have fought before, and Glover's out for a little bit. I mean, as you start speculating and looking through that, and you're confronted with the fact that it has to be a bigger fight than Diaz-Poirier, which did pop. I mean, when Diaz walked across that stage, it was a wow moment. It drives you to the conclusion that it would be Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier. I would be of the mind that it would be Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier at heavyweight, and I would be of the mind that the Brock Lesnar fight is on the line. I have nothing to support with factual evidence or even insider information that anything I said to you is accurate. I do not believe Jon Jones will be back by this November. I do not believe that USADA will risk their reputation and their integrity to slide one across the board instead of making him sit until summer of next year. I do not believe that that will happen. I'm speaking to what it is I'm guessing that perhaps the UFC thinks is going to happen. And I think they are holding out for a ruling on Jon Jones with the optimism that he could come back. I know that they did look at, and it did not go very far, and I think you can take it right off of the plate by now, but if you would have asked me a week ago, I might have had a little more optimism for it, that a St. Pierre versus Anderson fight was possible. And in the world of Jon Jones, as much as I'm saying they would like DC, I don't think that DC is going to do it and risk the Brock Lesnar fight. Not when they put the Brock Lesnar fight on the table. Jon Jones, yeah, sure. Title fight, yeah, sure. Any way you want to do it. Ooh, I could lose my Brock fight? I don't know. DC's a pretty willing guy. I don't know if he's willing enough to risk that. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud in front of you guys right now. So let me offer you one more possibility that could match up date-wise, if in fact we are right, that the hope is for Jon Jones. And I'm not saying this is through the roof, and I'm not saying this one isn't a little bit too late either. I'm just saying It'd be an awe moment. It would be bigger than Diaz-Poirier, I think. I would love your guys' opinion. Maybe I've got your temperature wrong. But date-wise, it could match up Jon Jones versus Anderson Silva. And while perhaps it doesn't make sense to some of you, I would ask you to look a little bit closer, and I go, well, no, I think that it does. Is that an interesting fight? Yeah, of course it is. Well, it's not Anderson's weight class. And I say, so what? It's still interesting. And also the fact that there is no title on the line. If you wanted to do that fight ever in this lifetime, this is the time you got to do it. Right? This is the time that you would have to do that if you just wanted to go out and have some fun. That is an outside speculation. I am not reporting anything to you guys. But I'm very close. Even though I'm playing a little coy, I am very close to telling you accurately that the hope is for Jon Jones. I just personally can't go that far because, again, of my understanding of the rules, there's just no way to do it. There's no way to do it without just flat out sacrificing integrity of USADA. I don't think that they would do that.